Hello and welcome to another episode of the Movie Garage. We are up to episode 29 already. We're doing quite well. As per usual, I'm Jay and this is Gaz. How's it going, mate?
Not too bad. No hat this week, so
yeah,
obviously a little bit better than last week.
missing the depression bobble. Yeah, you managed to slap yourself round for this week then.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we missed out last week, didn't we? I think I've only just got over the excitement of all the American election stuff that was going on.
Oh God, I thought
all I fucking did all week. That's why I was like, we can't do a podcast this week because it's all I will fucking go on about for an entire hour. It was amazing.
See, and this is why I don't care about this kind of stuff.
Yeah. It was absolutely incredible to watch. It was because it's like, so what they did was, because of COVID and everything along those lines, like one side, the goodies, Joe Biden's side and everybody like that, told everybody to vote via mail rather than risking going out into big crowds. But Donald Trump's side, because he doesn't believe in the virus or anything like that, told everybody to vote on the day. So like during the day, it looked like Donald Trump was going to win during a landslide. Then over the next couple of days after the election, all of Joe Biden's votes came in when they counted all the mail-in votes, and he ended up taking over and smashing him. It was incredible.
And that's why he started to stop the count.
Yeah, that was it. That's exactly why it was. I think what he was planning to do was he was hoping he was going to be so far ahead on the night that he was going to get them to stop it and then not count any more of the mail-in votes. But he never got far enough ahead for that to be like justifiable. So yeah, he's just got walloped, and now he's sat crying like a big fat sack of shit somewhere, which is great. It kind of nearly made 2020 worth it for me, to be honest. Yeah, but besides that, nothing really going on. Just working as usual, even though we're into lockdown 2 now in the UK. You notice much difference since we started lockdown last week?
None. I've just drunk a cup of tea. None.
Yeah.
Like I'm sober, so yeah, there is a difference.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. It's different from last time, but not different from my normal life. So I say I'm on a brew as well at the minute.
I know it's a little bit stranger this time around because you feel like you should be doing something different.
Yeah,
and because you're not.
Yeah, it does. It feels really weird.
Yeah, because you go into work and you're like, I'm just working.
Yeah.
Not sure we're supposed to, but
I know. Sure. This sucks. Why is everybody else at home again and I'm fucking not? That's my attitude.
I don't know anyone that's off this time round. I think everyone's companies have found a way to bend the rules a bit.
It's kind of interesting, like with my work. So we're like not a massive company. And like, I don't really know what's going on in the office or anything because I basically work out of my car. So I get kits delivered, then I drive to the job and do whatever. So I never go into the office. There's like 3 people in the office. That's it. Everybody else has been furloughed since March. And it was looking like they were all going to have to come back in because they changed all the rules. And then obviously lockdown 2 happened and they extended the furlough. So it looks like those guys in the office might have had an entire fucking year off by the time all the shit's finished. I'm fuming. I think I got like a month and a half. It's shit. I'm actually happy about still working because I could not afford to go through what I did last time. It was awful.
No, I definitely don't want to do what happened last time. I'm happy to work.
Yeah,
just mega busy.
Yeah. Stepped up the game.
Yeah.
It's coming up to winter as well, though, isn't it? So if like anybody's wanting to get the car serviced, or they bring out like winter checks and everything to make even more money, don't they? So, but your work's like tripled, hasn't it?
Oh mate, it's nuts. It is absolutely not. Honestly, it's like people rushing in for Black Friday TVs at Tesco's.
Yeah.
That busy.
Holy shit. I can't figure mine out at the minute. It seems to like, there seems to be like loads of fitments, but like, I don't know, it's just weird. It's going to either really drop off in the next month or so, or just get really busy, like you say. But yeah, fuck knows, just carry on, don't you?
You can't do.
Right. So, should we talk about some films?
Aye.
Well, it's mainly TV, the stuff that I've got to chat about this week, actually, for the most part, anyway. So I know that you suggested we do an actual whole episode on this, on some of the superhero TV stuff, mainly like the streaming stuff, didn't you? I think we should maybe get onto that like next week or something, because I'm completely caught up with them all now. How are you doing with like Umbrella Academy and The Boys and stuff like that?
I've watched them all.
Yeah. So we're both at the same point.
Umbrella Academy and The Boys, I've watched all of.
Yeah. So I think we're both at the same point now, so we can do like a specialist episode on them all, because either today or yesterday they announced that Umbrella Academy is coming back for a season 3, which is a good job really because of the way they left it. But
yeah, it would have really annoyed me if that didn't come back for a third. But
fucking tell me about it, mate. I think I'd have
really
cancelled that.
It's actually really annoying me that we've waited for you all this time to watch The Boys.
Yeah. Was in the middle of like a massive TV series with Fran. What was it? We started.
There's no excuses. It was The Boys.
I know, yeah, but still. So like I watched Once Upon a Time, and also I didn't want to start watching it until it was all there, because they did it weekly, didn't they, with The Boys on Amazon Prime. Whereas like I just want to sit and watch 4 episodes in one night and just be like a monk on the settee for hours. But so I wanted to wait till they finished that, and obviously Fran wanted to watch it with us, so I can only watch it at a certain time. Anyway, I've watched it now. So I'm thinking maybe next week or something we schedule in like just a TV show alternative superhero special or something along those lines.
Absolutely.
Where we could chat about all that shit. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that Umbrella Academy 3 is coming out, which I'm very excited about. Casting that's quality in it.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, so, and then, moving on quickly before we spoil it, staying on this focus of superhero TV series, they've announced that Loki has got a 2nd season on Disney+. They've not even finished filming the 1st season of it yet, and like nobody's seen anything about it. So obviously he is spinning off from the movies. I think his spin-off is going to be from Endgame, where, spoilers if you don't know it, they go back in time. He grabs the Tesseract and then disappears, doesn't he? Yeah. I think it's going to follow that. I've not seen any real details about this Loki movie, but that's something you're going to be into, you think?
Yeah, that's such a clever move to follow that, because you go, well, where did he go?
No one knows.
What happened to him? Yeah, and nobody knew.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely be interested, because his character's so good. Actually,
very cool.
So cool, so good. Really funny, actually.
And that as well. That point is during the Battle of New York, it's the point in time as the first Avengers movie finishes. So he's still like a proper bad guy, rather than like him switching sides that he does a little bit and helping out Thor in the next movies and all that kind of stuff. He's like a proper full-on bad guy at the point where this TV show is going to jump on, I think. So that's going to be a really interesting take on it.
Yeah, it really is, actually, because it would be good to see him just continue that bad person and push it, because obviously with TV shows you can go and do series after series and series and really build that character. So it'd be really interesting to see what they continue to do with them, because quite cool is get a little bit more information about them, because before Marvel and I knew nothing about Loki. So before these films, and it is one of the characters where you go at the end of the films, you go, he's actually one of the top characters. Actually, it's really interesting to see what they're going to do.
Yeah, it is, and they've really got an opportunity to piss a lot of people off as well, because like the character of Loki in the comics and like in the Norse legends as well, because it's all about the Norse gods and stuff, isn't it? They're like an actual religion that used to be based around them. He was male and female at different times, so like they could change his sex repeatedly throughout it, which is he's going to annoy a load of people. But that's like actual canon. That's part of his character and part of who he always has been throughout all of time. So that would be really interesting to see him doing some stuff like that and fuck about with it a little bit. I'd be really into watching something like that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I absolutely. I actually didn't know you can do that.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Well, he's
didn't know
like,
there's different
mm,
sexes.
yeah.
Oh,
Well, I mean, I think you see him change into a few different people. When is it when they break him out? Is it like Thor 2, where Thor breaks him out of prison to go and help him? And there's a bit where they're walking down the corridor together and Loki keeps changing
yeah,
into different people.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And he's pissing about. He changes into Captain America, doesn't he? And he's doing all the poses and stuff, which is really, really
Yeah,
cool. Yeah,
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 that's
but he's had
cool.
like throughout Legend and stuff, he's had aspects that have been both male and female, but still been the same person. So that'd be really interesting for him to explore. Whether they will or not, God knows. You know they'd be in for a world of shit from it, but I'd still love to see him do it.
Nah, may as well do it. If you're going to do it properly, then just go for it and take the crap after it.
Yeah, I think so,
You know
mate.
what I
Zombie
mean?
shove it and not watch it if they don't want to. Simple as that, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, they've also announced as well that another Marvel TV show on Disney Plus, WandaVision, which is the Scarlet Witch spin-off TV show.
Yeah.
That is airing, I think it said the 12th of January, around mid-January next year. So it's going to be like at the start of that. And then that's going to finish. And then that's going to lead directly on to Doctor Strange 2, which is called Multiverse of Madness. Did you see the post I put up about half an hour before we decided to do this record?
No.
Right. So I saw a post on Reddit, right? And I was like, that's not fucking real. There is no chance that that's real. And it was a cast list for Doctor Strange 2. So bearing in mind, it's like all about the multiverse and all of that kind of stuff. And it's basically, I had to go to Google to make sure it was right because I was like, no, this is a fucking lie. A fan has made this because this is too awesome to be true. So I had a look on. Now, obviously, Benedict Cumberbatch is coming back as Doctor Strange. Elizabeth
Yeah.
Olsen is Scarlet Witch, is Wanda again. On the cast list, on the Google page, now it's only on the Google page, so it makes me think they're just responding to rumour. The cast list includes Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Ryan Reynolds. So that's
Wow.
two previous Spider-Men and Deadpool, obviously, on the cast list
Yeah.
for that movie. Somebody got in touch with me as well just before, like literally about 10 minutes before I started talking to you, and said that they're looking at Joaquin Phoenix to play a Doctor Strange, but from an alternate universe. So there might be two Doctor Stranges in it as well.
Oh my God, that's really confusing.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be insane, utterly insane.
With that kind of cast, it will be. I can't always decide if I really like Ultimate Universes have to be perfect for me
Yeah.
because otherwise it could be really, really confusing.
Yeah, they've got to write. So what they've got to do as like the mainstay is to know the character that they're going to bring in and keep them the same, even though they're jumping them into like a different universe or something. Because if like Tobey Maguire came in and wasn't Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and started acting like another dickhead Spider-Man, it wouldn't work, would it? So what they've got to do is they've got to keep them characters the same and then go over. For me, I think
try to say Tobey Maguire acts like a dickhead Spider-Man.
Well, you know what I mean. It's like a different kind of dickhead Spider-Man. Man, it's at the minute Sky have got the Sky Superhero channel on again, and they've been showing all the Spider-Man movies, whichever one it is, all the Spider-Mans. So they showed the 3 Tobey Maguire ones, and then the two Amazing Spider-Man films, like one after another. I'm watching them all. Spider-Man 2 is still one of the greatest superhero films that has ever been made, with Dr. Octopus in Tobey Maguire.
It's a good film.
Oh,
it's a really good film.
It's incredible, and it still really stands up as well. Like Tobey Maguire is blatantly like 40 in it, and he's only supposed to be a teenage boy. But if you push that out your head and then just watch the movie, it's such a good film.
Yeah, it is. I did actually like the early ones actually, and kind of went because then they were like, no, we're going to redo them all again. I'm like, why?
Yeah, that's it. It was a really weird call, unless they were thinking like long term, and they were thinking like, we'll do this, and then we'll do this, and then we'll do it all in like a Spider-Verse film.
Do you know what got me about them films is when you it took me back to my childhood a little bit, because when you used to watch, like me and you would have definitely watched it, the old Spider-Man TV show,
The cartoon and stuff, yeah.
the cartoon one. That's how it felt. That's the
Big
way
time.
they kind of filmed it, and that's what I really enjoyed about them films.
Yeah. Yeah, that was it. And there were such different takes on Peter Parker as well through the two different ones. Like I hated Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker. I thought he was just really cringy. I thought he was too old. But the films, apart from that, the films were really good. Like even Spider-Man 3 has some really good moments in it. I mean, it has like cringy dance and everything like that. I thought Andrew Garfield got Peter Parker absolutely perfect, because he was still a bit of a loser, a bit of a loner, but he was really comfortable with it and didn't really give a shit, and he was just himself.
Yeah,
And that came across really, really well. And then Tom Holland's just actual. I'm pretty sure he's actual Spider-Man. So, so they just gave up and just made a Spider-Man rather than doing a film. If we were talking the other week, what can actors pretend to be and not? Well, obviously, Spider-Man can't pretend to be anybody else.
Yeah,
So
but just the actual Spider-Man though, like he does when he's in that, he's just so right. He's so good at it.
Yeah, it's perfect. And he's nearly made me cry in every Spider-Man film. And it's this fucking Spider-Man movie, man. That first one, Homecoming, where the vulture gets him to see. I'm nearly going now. Where he's stuck under the rocks and he just loses it. Do you know what I mean? Where the building comes down on him and he's stuck under all the rubble, and he just gives up completely, and he's just like, help! Oh God, no, done. Turn it off. Put something else on. Shit, this. It's really bad. Yeah. And then what else? And then Endgame as well. His death scene in Endgame, Infinity War. That's the worst thing ever.
Oh my God, it is.
They were saying apparently the reason it takes him so long to turn to dust after the snap is because of his healing factor. Because one of Spider-Man's powers is he heals really quick. So obviously, as he was like coming to pieces, he was healing, and his body was trying to fix it and hold himself together, which is why he stays a lot longer than everybody else and has this big horrible. Oh.
Do you know what's even more upsetting about Spider-Man's death in that is that they actually sing a line in that in Frozen 2.
Really?
Yeah, they kind of turn it into a bit of a joke.
Motherfuckers. I watched that the other night as well. I didn't notice that. Oh,
yeah, they do. There's a line in it where she's singing. Is it Frozen 2? Or maybe 1. No, it must be 2. It must be 2 because it's later on. Yeah, they do. She's singing with Olaf, and there's a line in it about Peter Parker turning into dust or whatever it is.
Filthy little snowman. I'll fucking kill him. I'll kick his stupid nose off his face. Little shit. I didn't know that. I'd have cheered when he died. No, I completely missed it. Yeah, we watched that for the first time the other night. It's actually really, really good, isn't it? Not as catchy as the first one, but it's still a really good film. And that's the first
one's a better film.
First one's got.
I thought it was a better film.
Yeah. First one's got the worst Disney bad guy in it of all time.
Yeah.
How dare you fuck her over like that? She's like the sweetest thing, you know. Oh, he makes me want.
I must admit though, Olaf is an incredible character.
Yeah, big time.
Oh, piss! It makes me laugh so much. He's like my son's favourite and all.
Yeah, but you would expect a snowman to be retarded, wouldn't you? So it is quite an accurate depiction. Yeah, cool. Anyway, on some more depressing things. We've not done this for a couple of weeks, so we've not managed to speak about Sean Connery, unfortunately, who passed away last week, I believe it was, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. How shit. It's another one that really hit me hard. It's getting to that point in our lives now, isn't it, dude? That we are that old now. The actors we've grown up being really big fans of have now started to die, and it's really starting to get to me.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is. It is. We are getting old, so
Mm.
and unfortunately, these people that are around for as long as he was, it's gonna creep up on us even
Yeah,
more.
that's it. Well, he was 90, wasn't he, when he passed away? So he's
Yeah,
done pretty
yeah,
well.
which is nuts.
Yeah, yeah,
It
he was
is nuts.
amazing. I mean, he kind of stepped out of the limelight a few years ago, didn't he? Because apparently he had dementia towards the end, and he got like quite bad
Yeah,
as time went on. Obviously, so he took a step back. But um, some of his films are absolutely incredible. I mean, like James Bond. You're not too big a James Bond fan, are you? So that would have probably passed you by.
I like James Bond, and I have watched James Bond with him playing it. Like, yeah, it's never one that I've been completely gripped with.
Mm.
So when people go, "Well, who's your favourite James Bond?" I don't know
Yeah.
because I don't really know
Are they not
what
all the
people
same?
like. As
Yeah.
I'm not, but it's if I like the film, then that's my favourite.
Yeah, that one.
But
That one.
obviously, like, there's a lot of people saying, "No, he's the original.
Mm.
He's the best." So it's for people who are James Bond fans, it's definitely sad news.
Yeah, yeah. And then there's he was Indiana Jones's dad, which is just that Last Crusade is just incredible because of the way that he is. They interviewed Harrison Ford, and Harrison Ford is like a notorious miserable bastard when he's doing interviews. He literally just does not give a shit. And he never has either. So it's not like he's got old and then stopped giving a shit. He's just never give a shit and doesn't care about being interviewed. And he was really heartwarming and lovely about his experience with Sean Connery. Said how much he loved
Yeah,
him and what a laugh it was and what a great experience it was working with him. Which if you can make Harrison Ford do that, then you're a big deal.
oh yeah, absolutely, yeah, definitely. Well, he was though. He was a huge deal, especially in movies, absolutely huge deal. And there's been quite a lot of people that's came out and sung his praises and
Yeah.
stuff. So it's it did kind of, yeah, it's definitely one of them where it hits you and you go, oh holy crap, this is a quite amongst everything that's kind of going on, this is actually quite a big deal for everybody actually.
Yeah,
See
that's
it
it.
hit
That's it. Crazy. To make as
like,
much news as it did as well at the time that it did, because obviously COVID
yeah,
and then all this Donald Trump shit that's been going on. Yeah, that just shows you what a massive fan he was, a massive fan base he has even. So I think in celebration this weekend, I think I'm probably going to watch Last Crusade and I'm probably going to stick a bit of Highlander on as well.
why not?
Yeah, because I love Highlander and because Fran hates it and because Ramirez is great. I can't believe like the audacity of Highlander to cast the most Scottish Scotsman as a Spanish prince in a film about Scotsmen is just just so perfect. It's like, yeah, that's good. He's got like Christopher Lambert trying to do like Scottish accent all the way through that movie and just doesn't pull it off for like even a second.
It's weird why they even bother doing stuff like that, and
I know, but it
just
just makes the
let
film.
the Scottish guy play the Scottish person.
But it makes the film so much better.
Yeah. He's got quite a cool Scottish voice.
Yeah, he really does. Proper silky smooth.
Yeah,
I'm not even
it
sure
is actually.
whereabouts.
It's not. You know,
Not even sure whereabouts he was from.
Edinburgh.
Was he? So
Yeah,
he was posh Scottish then.
it was. Yeah, it's posh Scottish.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might not be a big deal if it was from Glasgow. Rough
Yeah.
Scottish.
He'd have been fighting more, I think, when he.
And then everyone goes, "Hey, don't call Glasgow Legions." I was born there. I can.
Yeah, there you go. Tough but fair. I love Scotland. Much rather go there than down to London. Anyway, we won't get into that. Lose our 6 viewers.
I have 15 subscribers now.
Yeah, I know. Hey, the big time. Be able to quit our proper day job soon. It'd be ace. Yeah, so sticking with the serious and kind of miserable theme, I don't think we could have got away with doing a movie podcast this week without talking about Jonny Depp. Have you been following any of this? What's been going on?
Slightly confused what's kind of going on. Like it. I don't get it. I don't really understand kind of what's going on because this is just he's been going against the sun
Yes.
and lost.
Yeah. Yeah, so like what's happened is him and his ex-wife Amber Heard split up quite a while ago, and there was allegations of abuse from both sides. What it looks like has happened is that Amber Heard has been massively abusive towards Jonny Depp, and he's had like videos and proof of it, and she's kind of, well, she has denied it, but there is that much proof, that much evidence, and that many witnesses there that it definitely fucking happened, and she's not got a leg to stand on, basically. What it looks like has happened, though, is that she's pushed him too far, and a couple of times he snapped. Don't think he's actually hit her or anything along those lines, but the Sun got a hold of this, or the Star, whichever shit rag it was, and they called him a wife beater. So he went against them in a liable case to try and get that overturned, to try and sue them for referring to him as a wife beater. Unfortunately, he's lost that case because they said that the paper had enough proof at the time to be able to refer to him like that. So it doesn't mean he actually is a wife beater or anything along those lines. All the evidence suggests, in fact, that he definitely isn't and really didn't do anything wrong. But he's lost this case. And that has meant that he's lost his job from one of the biggest franchises in Hollywood at the minute, because Warner Brothers have sacked him from Fantastic Beasts, and he was like the main bad guy in that, which is just crazy.
So, like, I don't get why he's lost his job, though.
No.
If the argument was in court for if he beat her or not, and it came out, yeah, you beat her, then sure, fine, lose your job.
Yeah, that's
the argument was against the paper calling him a name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
and
it.
Lost.
That's it, and
so it makes no sense to.
Yeah, that's exactly right, mate. Because the ridiculous thing is that they don't have to have like concrete evidence to be able to refer to him as that in a headline. They just have to have like a strong enough rumor, or they have to have, or it has to look like he is at that time. So he doesn't have to actually be it. But if there's enough evidence that it looks like it's gone that way, then they can get away with calling him anything he wants.
It's not something what the papers can get away with.
Yeah.
Especially scumbags got Sun.
Oh yeah, man.
Sun's such a bad paper.
Yeah, that's it. No, it always has been gross. I think it's is it the Daily Star as well that's not sold in Liverpool because of what they said about Hillsborough?
No, Sun. It was the Sun.
Is it the Sun? Yeah, so it's
it's literally you cannot buy a Sun in Liverpool.
That's so good. I love that every time I hear somebody mention it. I think it's brilliant.
Because they basically did say, called them all murderers.
That was it. Yes, Hillsborough, wasn't it? That they blamed the fans.
They printed it black and white murderers with no evidence at all. And that's the Sun are well known for just being absolute scumbags. And yet, what's mad about it is it's like these people that do papers and stuff like that don't care.
No, they don't. They've got that much money now that they don't give the first shit that they just ruin people's lives on a daily basis and do not give a fuck.
Who buys a paper these days?
No. It's got to be all online now, isn't it, you'd think? Or subscribing to dodgy websites and stuff.
Yeah. So every bit of news is broken on Twitter within seconds.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. Did you get Apple does updates to your phone without you even asking it to? It does Apple News. So why would you have to buy? Why would you have to give money to a shit rag like that? It's been like a really, really interesting watch all this play out on the internet, because obviously people have really rallied behind Jonny Depp to a point that I've never ever seen before. Like all of his ex-girlfriends and stuff like that have come out of the woodwork saying what a lovely guy he was. Every single actress that he's worked with has said what an incredible guy he was. All the fans have gone mental about the fact that he's been fired. And there's petitions everywhere calling for him to be reinstated as an actor, as Grindelwald in this Fantastic Beasts franchise. And what has annoyed everybody else more is that Warner Brothers are making Aquaman 2 soon, and Amber Heard, his ex-wife, is in that, and she's kept her job, even though there is actually evidence everywhere that she was massively abusive to him, like to the point where apparently she took a shit on his bed and stuff like that. You know, really like properly disgusting, horrible shit she was doing to him. And she still kept her job. So like the latest thing I heard was there was a petition with over 1 million signatures on it, trying to get Warner Brothers to sack her and to reinstate Johnny Depp.
Dude, this is 2020 sexism.
It's really interesting, isn't it? It's kind of hard to be mad about it, like, because this is literally the only thing that women win in. You know what I mean? But if you're right. If she was a bloke,
it's completely turned on its head.
Yeah, she'd have been Johnny Depp if she was a bloke. Like no fucking Costco or anything along those lines. Which is it's kind of ridiculous. Another thing that has come out is they're talking about recasting Grindelwald, which is his character in Fantastic Beasts. Now, obviously, anybody who takes on that part after all this is in for a world of shit. They've been talking about Mads Mikkelsen, I think he pronounced his second name, who is the guy who played Hannibal in the TV series, and he's done quite a few other things. People love this guy. And it's been really interesting to watch all of like the threads on the posts about him replacing Johnny Depp, because everybody's been like, "Oh, it's bullshit that Johnny Depp's been fired. It's shit. He definitely should have been replaced." But if they're going to do it, this guy'd be awesome. It's been really fucking interesting to watch. I think if they'd have named any actor besides Mads, then the internet would have shut him down straight away. But it's been like really, really fair. And I think like he'd be the only one who can get away with it if they do end up recasting it. But I think they're going to lose a lot of money. I think a lot of people are boycotting it still.
Exactly, yeah. I was going to say that you've got to worry about the boycotts, because if he's getting that much support, then it's like people are starting to rally around for other stuff and go, I tell you what, forget about it.
Yeah, that's it. It's exactly right. I mean, I've never heard of 1 million people signing a petition to get an actress fired before. I mean, people can be petty as shit, but that's on a different level. I mean, imagine being Amber Heard. Imagine being sat at home and somebody tags you in that post. So, you guys on the internet want you sacked, you bitch. Now what?
She's made plenty of money.
Yeah, so, and ironically as well, apparently, because Johnny Depp started filming the next Fantastic Beasts movie, they've still got to pay him his full wage. So he's still going to get like $10 million for it, even though like he's been made to resign.
Just take you 10 million.
Yeah, definitely. Even if they ask Johnny Depp back now, I hope he goes, "No, go fuck yourself."
No, that's like, well, kind of like us at the beginning of furlough when we were off and still getting full pay.
Still had all the monies. Yeah, that was it. Woo! I'm king of the world! And 2 months later,
I'm in my living room.
Yeah, up to my nuts in Jack Daniels. It was fucking ace. And then that went after like a week. Now I'm drinking tea out of a Winnie the Pooh mug because I smashed my awesome Avengers cup the other day, and this is the biggest one in the house.
That sucks.
Yes, it really, really does. Okay, doke. So, recommendations of the week then. You wanted to chat a bit about yours from last week, I believe, didn't you?
Yeah, so I give a recommendation I've never seen before.
Yeah, you did.
And my promise was to watch the first season and try and back up why everyone said it's amazing, it's brilliant.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
You must watch it. And I have to back up my recommendation. I really struggle at first.
This is Vikings.
Oh, yeah, it's the Vikings. I really, really, really struggled at first. Every time I kept putting on, I just really struggle with it because it's slow.
Yeah, it is.
It
At the
is
start,
so
it's a very slow burner.
it's so slow at the beginning. It's hard to watch because like before the stuff that I get really into is that you get a couple of characters and you go, oh, I'd like to see what happens with these characters. And even with the main character,
Ragnar.
Ragnar, I didn't have that.
Yeah.
I didn't like anybody.
Mm.
You know, it didn't give me that. And I also thought some of the acting was terrible.
Oh yeah, big time.
You know, the King of England. It just reminded me of a school play at first. No, and it really did. And I think the dialogue was terrible. The acting was bad. And even the way that it's shot, and you can tell, like, it feels quite low budget at first.
Yeah.
And then what you're seeing, like, 5 or 6 episodes in, is that it started to change a little bit. It got a little bit more intense. It started showing you stuff that you wanted to see. It did take about 6 or 7 episodes before you started to see some real good fighting.
Yeah.
You can start to see a little bit of a change, and you start to find characters that you start to like. So yeah, even though it did start slow, it did make me want to watch it more. It hasn't blown me away yet.
Yeah.
I've finished the first full season, and it hasn't blown me away, but it has got better. And I've watched the first couple of episodes of the second season, and it's like a complete change of budget, of the way it's filmed, of the way it's acted, everything. It's just jumped to a new level. So it sucked me in a bit more. So I am interested in carry on. I am definitely going to carry on watching it. I have started to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Some of it's quite weird and dark.
Yeah, big time.
I was like, oh my god, they're gods of Odin, Thor, and Loki.
Yeah.
Are they going to turn up? And I was like, no, they're not, because I know they don't.
It's a really interesting way that it toes the line through all that, though, because it's basically like when Christianity first started coming in, and then, like you say, everybody's always all still worshipping like Odin and Loki and Thor and everybody like that. But yeah, seeing that, because they thought then the gods were real people who walked among them. And it's really interesting the way that they play that out throughout all the series and stuff. It's really hard because I can't remember what happens in what series, and I don't want to spoil anything for you.
No.
But
it is really interesting how they play that out, because we've always imagined Odin, Thor, and like people like Loki, because they're the three that's mentioned the most. Is that you link them to superheroes?
Yeah, that's it.
And this program's so far away from that.
Yeah.
It's completely the opposite scale of that. So to have them mentioned and have them be named as gods in something completely different it was quite interesting.
Yeah.
But I think it's fair to say the sacrifices are quite harsh.
Bloody hell are they?
Oh my god. That was definitely one thing that got me when the humans sacrificed themselves. I was like, oh my god, that's quite sad actually.
Yeah.
Because
they never considered death to be the end, did they? So like to be sacrificed and stuff like that was all a big honour, rather than now where it's just like, fuck off, man.
It's definitely one. It just, if anyone's going to go and watch it, bear with it. That's all I'd say. Just grin and bear it.
Yeah, like you say, it's kind of like, it's quite a brave thing to do, especially with, I mean, I don't know, how old is it now? I think there's about 7 or 8 seasons, so that's about 7 or 8 years ago. But still, people don't like me and you definitely don't have attention spans anymore. So if things don't start happening pretty much straight away, then it's just like, no, we'll see what else. And there's so much other stuff on now as well. But what they did was obviously like they spent a lot of time building the characters, didn't they? And to letting you like setting a scene and getting to know all the characters before they get into all the action type stuff, which is quite a brave thing to do because, like you're saying,
it is because I don't know. People go, "Oh, you can't have everything straight from the beginning." You can, and it can work because if you watch The Boys, one of the speedsters runs right through a body and explodes it, and you literally go, "Ah, I'm in."
Yeah.
You've got me.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. So it can work that way. So to do it slowly is brave, but I'm going to carry on watching it definitely.
Belting. Yeah, cool. You're watching the second season this week, so that's kind of your recommendation for this week then.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I like it. My recommendation for this week is, so we watched a couple of horror movies this week. The second one I watched was Dr. Sleep, which is a Stephen King movie, which is the sequel to The Shining. And it's about the young boy who's in The Shining, who's grown up, and he grew up into Ewan McGregor, which is quite nice because he's a good actor. And it's all about what happens to him and like the special powers he's got, which are The Shining, and like what happens to him when he's grown up. There's a bunch of people who are hunting kids who have also got The Shining and killing them to take their powers. So he's got to like fight against them, and it is such a good film. I read the book a few years ago, and it's really, really like the book because the Shining movie isn't very much like the book, but this is kind of like the book, but also a real nice nod to the film as well. It's brilliantly done. It's an absolutely great film. I loved it. So if you're a fan of The Shining or you've seen it, then go and watch the second one, Dr. Sleep it's called. It's great.
Okay.
Yeah. So get on board. No, you love your horror films. Ace. And I think that about finishes off for this week. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Give us a like and a subscribe on all the social medias. Yeah, download the podcast wherever you get your podcasts from, and go and subscribe to us on YouTube. Thanks very much, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
I shall see you soon.